Yo.
Wow.
Yo,
I was gonna say Wade Leostro called me yesterday.
No shit. Shout out to the boy Wade. What'd he say?
Oh man, so Wade is. I gotta pull it up exactly. Let me pull up our text thread.
Well, while you're pulling it up, I want to say welcome, bro. What's up, man?
Welcome.
How are you?
Welcome you.
No, welcome you.
No, you're welcome.
No, you're welcome.
No, you're welcome.
No, I think you're the one that's welcome, bro.
Is welcome a dirty word now?
What do you mean?
You're welcome.
When you say it like you're one of your daughters, yeah, it's a dirty word.
Do you ever say like you're welcome and not think this is a crappy I don't know. Like
no, I feel like I use you're welcome interchangeably.
Here's your bread and beans at the restaurant.
You're welcome.
Thanks. You're welcome. I don't know.
I mean, if you can, it's just the way you say something, bro. You can say things to make yourself sound like a dick, and the way you're saying things right now makes yourself sound like a dick.
Hey, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
It's like that character from SNL that what's his face Fallon used to play.
Which
the
one?
IT guy.
Oh, I don't remember that.
He was an IT guy, and like if you had a problem with the computer, he would come and fix it for you, and that was his line. It was his catchphrase. It was like, "You're welcome." The sarcastic "You're welcome." You don't remember that?
He ruined that word. He started.
Listen, I've never been a Fallon fan. I've never been a Fallon fan. I hear he's a nice guy in real life, which I'm glad for. But as an artist, I felt like, son, you break character too many times. You break too many. You break character. I was like, you haven't earned that shit, bro. You're not a Belushi. You haven't earned that.
It almost, when you start to question if it's fake, that's when they break too much.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you're like, you were faking that break right now.
Come on, stop it, bro.
You just can't remember your line or can't read the teleprompter.
I was like, you were up all night doing coke, and you came in late for this rehearsal, and you're just a really great improver.
Exactly. Or you didn't rehearse at all.
So, if you haven't figured this out, this is what we're into.
Yeah.
Week.
Look at 42, baby.
Can't be 40. Is it 42?
It's 42.
No.
Yes. Joker was 41.
No, really?
I think we're either 41 or 42.
Because I was gonna say I think we're in 43.
Yeah,
I think we're in the 43 land.
No, we're definitely not 43.
We're not 43.
No. Okay, let me go to.
Because I feel like we doubled up on Joker. We did Joker twice because we had our
yes. Explain what that was real quick.
Well,
This is 42. Last week was 41. Yeah, Joker was 41. This is 46.
Okay. So week 42, dude. 10 weeks from a year, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Right?
Not bad for two guys.
Not bad for two guys just kicking it in Carroll Gardens, Brooklyn.
That's right. That's not where we are.
Are we not in Carroll Gardens?
No. We're on the moon.
God damn it.
Recording live
God
to
damn
you.
it. I leaned into the mic to be like, wait, did I get that wrong? I've been coming in here this whole time. I was like, did I get that wrong? But
are we on the moon?
Yeah, maybe no more tequila before podcasting because
I get too excited. I need to be drinking tequila, not coffee.
You probably should be. I mean, it's better for you.
So Wade Leostro called me, and we talked. He's like, "I got a job at Xbox."
Wait, what?
And I was like, "Really?
Doing what?"
And so he explains, like, I'm their social media manager, or something to that effect.
Okay.
And so then he sends me like a little.
What does that mean?
He's the Xbox Game Pass media manager. There's the official title is Senior Designer for Xbox and Xbox Game Pass.
Senior Designer.
Right, because he's got the art background.
Right.
What I called it is Supervising Manager of Dank Memes. And so
did Wade call it?
So he took a clip from the new Star Wars trailer of John Boyega looking into those binoculars, which have been going around. I think John Boyega sent somebody a video, and whenever you look into the binoculars, you see something else. He replaced it with was it Rick Rolls? Is that the guy's name?
Who's what? Rick
Never
Ross?
gonna live you up.
Oh yeah, I saw that meme.
And some would say that meme's dead. Wade, that meme is over.
No, it is.
Others
not.
Would say, what we into.
It is alive
it's
and
eternal.
well. It is strong and virile and sinewy.
And again, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's because we're talking about memes, and this is a podcast. And how do you explain memes on a podcast? It makes no sense.
Well, then, hey, for mom and dad, explain memes for mom and dad.
They know what memes are. It's just when
do they?
Maybe that's a good question. Do they? I watched a YouTube video on memes.
That coffee, bro. What's in that coffee?
And their place in history. In my mind, I went, I've studied memes for years. But no, I watched one 5-minute YouTube video.
Ain't memes like 10 years old? They're not that old, right?
They're not that old, but the way that paintings used to work, say during the Renaissance, during that period, there were little clues in paintings that at the time were culturally like memes. You see somebody like holding an apple, and that would mean they were fertile, or whatever version of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Memes are essentially the same thing. It's a short little like cultural way of getting out information. You know. Yeah.
I was having this conversation with a friend of mine earlier this week about God, and this is where it sucks for me because I'm trying to recall the actual words from this conversation.
No. Conversations, dementia words are difficult.
Early stage onset dementia sucks.
What you need to do is pick up the tequila in one hand, beer in the other, drink them both at the same time. It'll come.
And they'll get coagulating in the back of my gullet, and it'll be like, "Pew!" Synapses will fire.
Should we do some news while you're thinking of what your friend maybe said to you about something? One time?
It was about art. We were talking about art and sort of how something replaced something else as the modern version of something else.
Yeah.
To the effect of what we were just talking about. But I
maybe
can't remember
specific. Maybe it was me before.
It wasn't. It was a beautiful woman. It was a beautiful woman.
Looks like me.
No, actually. Yeah, she kind of does.
That'd be weird.
It wasn't you though.
If you came over one time with a date that looked exactly like me.
Well, you know,
but with like long hair.
You know what's messed up? I was coming here. I was like, I'm glad that Larry has like really. I'm glad I know Larry's neighbors and they're not like nosy, like dickish people.
Oh, it's
like
if
ones
they were left over here, they're kind of dicky. The ones to the right are great. Emily's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I know most of them.
Yeah,
and they're all real cool. But I was like, man, what if Larry's neighbors weren't real cool? Like they would suspect some fucking skullduggerous shit is going down. A black guy shows up every week for the last 40 weeks in a row. Stays for a couple hours. And then leaves before Laurel gets home.
Well, see, this is one of those things that like you can say out loud, but when I say it out loud, it comes off terribly racist.
Wait.
If I'm like this skullduggery thing where like this black guy comes over for a little bit at the house and then leaves,
that Larry's having an affair with a black guy.
Why is it an affair and why is it skullduggery?
Well, it just
maybe you and I want to have an affair. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, maybe Laurel's okay with it.
Society may not be.
And maybe race has nothing to do with it.
And maybe it doesn't have anything to do with it. I just thought it was amazing because, living where you live, I don't see I don't think any of your like, I think if you had at least one black neighbor, I'd be like, oh, they don't give a fuck. They were like, oh, them motherfuckers is, playing D&D or some shit.
There's been this repeated parking down at the corner here. And I've seen the same guy, the same black dude sitting in his car, like smoking a blunt right at 3 o'clock for like the last like 2 weeks as I walk my kids home. And I'm just like, good for you, man. Like in my mind, I'm projecting, he's like, I'm going to a safe place where cops are not going to bother anybody, and it's Carroll Gardens, and I can just sit back in my car and smoke a blunt. And blaze a blunt. And even the parents walking by won't say anything because they're way too liberal.
Good for him.
And I told you about the other experience I had when we were walking out of the kids' schoolyard, and this woman opens the door to her car and lets out a huge cloud of like weed and shuts the door. And my first impulse is to go over there and be like, "Hey, ma'am,
you are within 500 yards of a school."
Literally 5 feet from a school. Not even yards, man. 5 feet, not hundreds. 5 feet. And.
Wait, what's the oldest age group at their school?
5th grade, so 10. Penelope's age, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I wasn't cognizant of it.
No, nobody's smoking weed at that school.
Oh no! I'm saying like I had been around it my entire life at that point, and I had no idea what it was until much later.
Yeah, I think my kids know because they've smelt it before.
Well, they know, and they're hip, and they live in New York, and they've asked
me. Yeah,
and you haven't been like. You haven't been like your standard last generation parent and not giving them a straight fucking answer.
Yeah.
Kudos on that.
So Wade says can't call today. have meetings and some deadlines, so we're going to call him
Ooh, the
deadlines.
New designer of the
supervising designer of dank memes.
I can't take your calls now. Too good? Goodbye, friend? Is this a goodbye, friend moment now?
Forever, Wade. No, we're going to call him right now. Let's do it.
Why are you trying to Mr. Robot me right now?
He says, give Rob a hug.
I love you, Wade.
I hope you all are doing well. And we're going to call him and make him answer right now.
Well, you're going to try calling him right now. He's going to take it. He's going to...
We'll
once you get denied, we should jump into
I may not get phone service here.
I told you. He's taking meetings.
He says, in meeting.
Not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for
Those things talk so slow. We get it. Hello, Wade.
I love you, Wade.
This is the podcast, and we're calling you right now.
That's my dude. Yo, well, I mean, look.
Anything else? Should we just record the whole podcast on this voicemail?
No, what we should do, we should get Wade to plug the podcast, and Wade, we expect some free Xbox swag for this shit.
That's true.
We expect some. We here at what we. I'm putting it out there right now.
I know.
We here at what we into expect some free Xbox swag, and not none of that cheap shit that y'all give away at Comic-Cons. I'm talking about that primo shit that y'all save for the VIPs. And I know you know where they got that shit, so stop playing with me.
Yeah, and all I want to say is Xbox. See,
this is like that time you were plugging Jeremy Renner's.
Jeremy Renner's Amazon store. JeremyRenner.com.
They're not going to pay you for that. They're not going to pay you for that.
Maybe they already are.
You son of a bitch. Let's do some fucking news.
You have people pay you to be on this show, right? Like they pay me. You get endorsements all the time, right?
I mean, endorsements.
Just like these Nike shoes I'm wearing.
Those are your feet, bro. You might want to see somebody and get medicated.
Well, I interrupted you. Again, we were talking about mom smoking weed.
You always do that
at the park. Who cares? Let's go on.
Honestly, with the way that the tobacco industry is clamoring to sort of like get in on the weed game right now, it just proves the fact that weed has never been as dangerous and as deadly to society as it was, made out to be. When a bunch of white guys in some fuck off time ago were like, this is a problem.
That was based on money and racism.
Bang.
Yeah.
So like
mostly money, but also racism.
Mostly money, but it was a liberal sprinkling of racism thrown in there. But all that to say, weed has never been as bad as it's been stigmatized to be, and like good on motherfuckers for just letting people live.
Yeah.
Because like I'm trying to I've been around, my dad is a Rastafarian, you know this. So I grew up with weed in the house all the time. Grew up around it. But I would see him roll it.
He's come to a play of ours. He's never just like sparked up in the middle of the play.
Every time, the 2 times in the history, like this in the history of that's literally.
True. He came unsupported.
Yeah,
and he didn't smoke any weed during the play.
Well, it is New York, and this was like 10 fucking yeyears ago.
I interrupt you again. Sorry, you're rolling weed. This is my thing. I interrupt you because I'm like, what I have to say is way more important than what you're going to say.
That's that privilege.
That's that privilege. Like a cat wearing a diaper. Inside joke. I'm not gonna explain it. Inside joke.
You ain't even gotta say that shit. They don't even know that's an inside joke. That's a hilarious one though. Like a cat wearing a diaper. Awesome. No, but like even I didn't know that I didn't know that there was a problem. Like my parents never really discussed it.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a part of the life. Like, my dad smoked this weird-smelling thing. It wasn't quite a cigarette, because I knew what cigarettes smelled like. My aunt smoked for years. So, it never really garnered any kind of, ooh, they're doing something that's illicit. Right. They're doing something that's amoral. They're doing something that's wrong.
If you don't look at it through that lens, you don't even notice it. And
I went to fucking school. I was a straight A student. Yeah. I got 2 degrees for all the fucking good it did me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So did
the economy well?
It will do the economy well, much like video games are. That's a segue, bro. That's a segue. Goddamn, get on board. Choo choo.
I'm here, man. Choo choo. On the Segway train.
No, but yeah.
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
If you are satisfied with your message, press 1
Are we satisfied?
I think we're satisfied.
I think we're satisfied.
To erase and re-record, press 3.
No, we're not erasing and re-recording. That's the message.
Normal delivery, press 1.
Send it.
Thank you. Your message has been sent. Goodbye.
Sent.
No, thank you.
You're welcome, Wade.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You will be.
What video game news you got?
Video game news. Oh, well, this week has been a real interesting week for me as far as I've been really into the whole political aspect of the video games now, ever since this Hong Kong thing. Ever since Blizzard stood up and was like, fired a guy for speaking out against pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong.
Right.
So a lot of what I've been focusing on is how it's like both all those companies, Blizzard, Activision, they've actually suffered like quarterly losses. They've taken a hit this quarter as far as like their stocks have.
Good. Pro-democracy.
Right. That's all well and good, but they stand to make a killing in the next few quarters with things like esports on the rise, with things like there's like, if I had money to invest right now, I'm telling you, fam, it would be in video games because that stock. I mean, we're moving into like next generation VR. VR is still in its early infancy stages. We got new hardware coming for things. So developers
PlayStation
and
5, Xbox Scorpion, Xbox.
I'm pretty sure we get a new Call of Duty this week. Like there is a market that is untapped.
Coming up in November, yeah, the new one, yeah.
There's a market that is untapped in video games that is projected to make a lot of motherfuckers a lot of money, bro. And so, like, the news for me, like, the article that came up in my feed this morning was fucking Andrew Yang, the guy who's trying to run for he's a Democrat. I think he's running for president. The Asian cat who's running for president.
Let me look him up.
He got sat down and they were talking to him about video game addiction, loot boxes, and all kinds of shit. Like, they're asking presidential candidates about fucking video games and shit. That's where we're at now. Like. So for me, the news is kind of wait. What's your face? That
I
you got
just
a
think
face
it's
on
hilarious. Like Mr.
Yang, Vice President,
running
hopeful.
for.
Why are they asking the Asian guy about video games? That shit is racist, son. This shit is racist as fuck. I didn't pick
point out.
I didn't pick it up.
I
didn't pick it up until I was like, wait, why? Because I was watching you type and then your face had this. You did this like. Man, I was like, wait, what? But now I get it.
Actually, that's your interpretation. My real face was like, really? They're asking about microtransactions to a presidential candidate?
Yes, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, video games is...
But there's so many bigger things. Like, I agree. Microtransactions suck in video games.
They are, but my point being that the video games have come to this apex now where, like, we're talking about them in the context of a presidential candidacy, bro.
Yeah.
When a few years ago, this was just something that a few motherfuckers were just doing in their mom's basement and couldn't tell anybody about.
And yet, we're still getting President Trump blaming shootings on violent video games. That's Tipper Gore stuff.
And that's that shit. Yeah, that's that 90s. Shit. We've talked about this on the podcast before, where like these motherfuckers will use it to deflect away from the actual problems. They're like, well, he played video games with guns in it. So obviously, not citing the fact that there are millions of motherfuckers that play video games and don't decide that they need to go and buy an AR-15 at Walmart.
Right.
Without a background check and shoot up a bunch of motherfuckers.
I don't think you can buy an AR-15, but you can buy a gun for
Okay,
Walmart. But you know what I'm
that's
saying.
Me being fucking...
I know what you're saying.
Don't police my shit, man. You know I'm hyperbolic, bro.
I'm not trying to
just
police.
being hyperbolic. You know what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to police, but I am trying to at least... get the facts right. No, not the facts at all. But like
the facts right on.
But yeah,
on
you can go. I mean, exactly what you're saying.
The point being, the easy access to a motherfucking gun is not the problem. Is not the reason why
video games are the problem.
Yeah, that's why.
That's what we're saying here. What we into video games are the problem. Outlaw video games.
And we're also saying Trump is right.
Trump is right in his wrongness, or wrong in his rightness, or none of this. Ugh, I can't even.
Jesus Christ! You didn't. You should. My lead, where I was saying nothing over after we said that Trump is right. Boom.
Speaking of Trump not being right, okay.
Go ahead.
So remember how
decent segue, bro.
Yeah, not bad, right?
Not bad.
Forget.
Not bad.
Choo choo, segue train.
Choo choo, segue train.
So when he put up his border wall, he had that little. This is about 2 weeks ago.
You mean the test?
The test border wall, exactly. He put up the test border wall.
You had me frightened. You was like when your statement was when he put up that border wall. I was like, wait, what? He put it up? Right. That was my initial fear and shock. But you mean test portion?
So yes. So he basically came out and said, he got these climbers. We got climbers. We had 20 mountain climbers. He blurted out. It was about a month ago. And that's all they do. They love to climb mountains, and they can have it. Me, I don't want to climb mountains, but they're very good.
Are you reading a quote?
Yes, quotes. I don't want to climb mountains, but they're very good. He doesn't want to climb mountains because he knows the mountain will literally kill him.
This y'all president right now. Yeah. Listen to no. I'm sorry. Read that statement. Start from the top. Read that statement again.
We got climbers. We had 20 mountain climbers. That's all they do. They love to climb mountains. They can have it. Me, I don't want to climb mountains, but they're very good. And we gave them different prototypes of walls. And this was the one that was hardest to climb. This wall can't be climbed. It's very, very hard. Now, I talked about it in the podcast, I guess, 3 weeks ago when it came out. Because just by looking at it, I knew that I could probably climb that. Just by looking. It's like...
So a bunch of people...
It's vertical slats.
So subsequently, a bunch of people started climbing this unclimbable wall of his.
Yes. It's 4 18-foot high columns, right? And they're kind of they're spaced about a foot apart. And they're rotated 45 degrees from the plane of the wall. And then there's this 5-foot high panel at the top that's just smooth. So think about these columns that you have to climb, right? And then you get to the top, and then there's this 5-foot smooth thing, right? Okay. So these climbers, I think in Kentucky, there's a lot of actually really good climbing in Kentucky, built a mock-up of this wall and had competitions for people to come out and try to climb it.
Okay.
Like mountain climbers. Okay. Right? And so they got them out there, and one by one, they climbed this wall.
Of course they did.
Very, very easily. Of course. And then they gave it a grade, because you give grades in climbing, right? Bouldering grades are different than actual rock climbing grades.
Okay.
I climb around a 5'11", some 5'12s.
Okay.
Right? This was graded a 5'8". I took my wife climbing for the first time. My wife's very strong. This is not a comment on her not being strong. But she climbed for the first time ever and was able to do a 5'9". When I took you did a 5'9". Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. This is graded a 5'8". Means so basic. You could set you down in front of the southern border wall. You could figure out how to climb this thing.
You could set your girls down in the border wall and they could climb this thing.
Yes. Now I kind of want to go to the border wall and try to climb it. It's like a challenge that he put out there to all these climbers.
It's not even a wall. It's just a section of it. So yes. you could literally just go to wherever the fuck they built this in Texas or
walk around it
and just literally go right around it. It's
what do they think? They think that somebody's not gonna be able to figure this out. They
dude,
think that
it's not about figuring out. That dude is a liar. None of the shit he says is true.
I know.
20 mountain climbers? He got 20 mountain. You think he actually got 20 mountain climbers?
No,
he
of course
didn't.
not.
That dude is a liar. None of that shit is. It's all fucking flim flam, smoke and mirrors, and sleight of hand. Don't pay attention to the shit coming out of his mouth because he's a liar, bro. The dude's a liar. Moving on. So Netflix The Witcher just got new photos from set.
Yeah.
It's looking better, man.
Let me see.
It's looking better.
You say there, I'll come to you. Oh, okay.
So these are...
Look at that.
I mean, that looks exactly like
it's like they had
from the game.
Discount of Game of Thrones.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. That looks exactly like the video game. That looks like the keep. It's looking better.
It looks good. Ooh.
First shot of a monster claw.
Yep.
Yennefer.
He's
starting to look more like it. I think they listened to our notes from when we were talking about
I'm sure they listened to what we into.
Oh yeah.
Officially sponsored by Xbox Game Pass.
Wade. Wink. No, the shots from set. I mean, we're on IGN.com right now looking at shots, new photos from the Netflix Witcher series. If you don't know what that is, at this point, 42 weeks in, kill yourself and keep moving.
This is the official Witcher 3 podcast. That's all we do is talk about Witcher.
I wish. It's starting to look like something I would want to talk about. Like I think that's the official picture for the shot that you'll see when in your Netflix queue. Of course.
I'm not talking about a lady's, ladies and gentlemen, before you get offended. I'm talking about a man's.
It's looking better.
Did you think it looked bad?
I did.
You did.
I did. I thought everybody. Remember, I thought everybody except for Henry Cavill looked bad.
Okay.
Remember, I said like he looked like he got his wig at like one of the pop-up Halloween stores around New York right now.
It did look bad. And then they were like, so what do you think? They were like, and everybody was basically like, it should look more like Game of Thrones. And oh, okay. Note taken. Wait,
you think it looks like Game of Thrones?
Those shots look like the costumes look like.
See, I feel like Game of Thrones is fucking soured. Everybody's going to be comparing any kind of medieval or like otherworldly, old world style of storytelling to Game of Thrones because it was the most popular thing since I don't know Willow or whatever the fuck.
Willow wasn't that popular.
Fuck you. Willow was that popular.
Willow for life.
I'm a Willow.
Just as my tattoo says.
You know what? I feel like I love you. I would respect you more if you had a Willow tattoo, bro.
How do you know I don't? It's just on my inner thigh.
I know you don't, bro. We went to Florida, bro. We were at a water park together.
I don't show that off. Can't think of a good segue.
You fucking. No, I was trying to keep my beer from erupting all over your.
Well, you know what time it is. Time for Adventure Time, coming to HBO Max.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't hear about this?
Like the
Do you
cartoon?
watch Adventure Time, the cartoon?
I've seen enough episodes to know that it's very smart and not in some ways for kids. I feel like
it's a kid show. It's
a kid show, but it has
Rick and Morty is not for kids.
True. Yeah.
Adventure Time is for kids.
Yes,
but it still has a lot of the really interesting adult writing, just not so ostensibly in a way that's for adults like Rick and Morty is.
Right. Yes, I do, but like with not a lot. You mean like the cartoon, not the live action?
Yes, the cartoon. They're not making the live. That would.
You know, they made. I think one of those episodes from Adventure Time was a live action.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't see that one, but they did bring in a whole bunch of different animators for different episodes, and so you just watch them and be animated by somebody totally different. I saw that too. Different style.
It's a great show. I didn't see all of it like start to finish, but I caught it like when I was babysitting the girls. They were really into it, so I ended up watching a lot of the episodes with them. In the same Sanjay and
Craig, yeah.
And Craig is in the same vein.
I never sat down by myself and watched Sanjay and Craig, but there were late nights where I was like, I don't know what to watch. My kids and my wife are asleep. I'll put on Adventure Time.
No shit.
I mean, it's a great
really show.
Good show. So HBO Max has announced 4 new hour-long Adventure Time specials.
Now, explain that Max shit, because I feel like that's a new thing.
Yes.
And we haven't really talked about it.
So right now, everybody gets HBO Go if you have if you get it through your cable company, basically.
Right.
You get
have
it for
a subscription.
Free. Yeah. You can also pay, I don't know what it is, but you can pay like $14.95 a month for HBO Go if you just want HBO Go.
Right.
And that has like the Watchmen. We're going to be talking about that next episode, the new Watchmen TV show. HBO Max is another sort of streaming service from HBO that's going to have non-HBO shows. And as John Oliver made fun of, it's like HBO, but without the HBO shows.
That's why
and they'll have some HBO shows, but they're also going to have maybe like The Office, for example, or Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like the HBO version of Hulu.
It's YouTube.
It's YouTube.
No, it's HBO YouTube.
YouTube's totally different. YouTube is creator.
Can you not get episodes of like The Office and some and
you can, but YouTube is creator driven. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like somebody has already uploaded episodes of Adventure Time, episodes of Seinfeld,
right.
All the stuff that you would get on HBO Go.
Yeah,
you can get somewhere else without a subscription. Is my point.
Probably, yeah. But honestly, YouTube's been cracking down on that stuff. There were different movies that I tried to watch.
I watched most of the Shaolin collection. Last week.
That's like stuff that's like in weird copyright,
like all the Run Shaw shit.
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah, because probably this.
Because you can watch all of the Run Shaws on YouTube.
Yeah, and probably the copyrights are owned in China, and probably the copyrights in America have lapsed, so they can have that content up, or that content is being monetized and paid through YouTube to somebody else.
But like China is allowing YouTube to run Shaw on American YouTube?
Probably, yeah. Probably. I don't know what the specifics are, but, like if we put up a video, if you and I, What We Into, puts up a video on YouTube that has content infringement, right? That, let's say we put up sections of John Wick 3 and we talk about it. The copyright owners of John Wick 3 can place a claim on our video.
That makes sense.
And any watching that goes through that, they'll get a certain percentage from YouTube paid to them. Because YouTube puts ads on everything, right?
Right.
Those ads, make money, and that money goes to people other than YouTube, right?
All that I get.
Right. So what I'm saying is if you're trying to watch The Office on YouTube, I'm not sure if it's on there or not. Probably not. Because they're not allowed the copyright to be on there. They could allow it, and they could also make money off it while simultaneously having it on Netflix if that's part of their contract. Anyways.
All that to say, you can do all that shit and not have to go with HBO Go or
HBO Max,
whatever the fuck this is.
But really what's happening is like Office was on Netflix. I think it's still on there right now. Yeah. It's going to leave Netflix.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to pay for it.
Yep.
And then you're going to have to pay for that service to watch The Office again.
I'm always going to advocate for not paying for it.
I know.
You know this.
Yes. I'm going to advocate if it's convenient and you already own the streaming service or paying for the streaming service, watch it. Because think about it. Not everybody has the time to put their computer in development mode and put on Kodi and then have their computer do weird stuff. There's people who just can't do that to
Why not?
Illegally download
it. And see, there you go. I don't illegally download anything.
Illegally stream.
Streaming's not illegal. When did I didn't know that streaming? Netflix is a streaming service. When did streaming become illegal?
That you pay for. If you don't pay for Netflix, it's illegal.
So if you gave me your code and I was using Netflix, that's illegal?
No, because you're using my code, and I'm allowed to give out a certain amount of those codes.
Well, maybe Kodi is someone giving out the code. They gave me a code, then now I use it.
No, I mean they're figuring all of this stuff out. You and I were alive when it was hey, there's cassette tapes.
Yeah.
You can make a mix. And you talked to me about how your dad used to make bootleg mixtapes. They could never figure out how to get on top of that. So they basically were just fine, just do it.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with CDs and burning CDs.
Uh-huh.
And then there was that time period where, what was it called? The first downloading Napster came out, right?
And then Metallica shit all over that. That's why I don't fuck with Metallica.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't fuck with Metallica because if you watch their documentary, I forget what it was called, We Are the Monster, something like that. It came out 15 years ago. It just makes them look like really big wimps. And
dude.
And I was just no.
They shut down a streaming service that was mostly used by college kids to sort of access music and do this thing, based on the fact that they weren't getting enough royalties returned to them, and at that point they had already been mega millionaires for decades. They the whole file sharing, the crackdown on file sharing thing came out of Metallica.
Yeah,
and I never forgave him for that shit.
Yeah,
it's unfucking forgivable. They were multi-million. What, you need another gold toilet, Lars?
Exactly.
Go fuck yourself, bro.
So then there's Napster, and then there was iTunes. There's all these different the media or the landscape is changing for all of these things. They're trying to figure out how to make the most money out of it.
They'll never catch me
like they used to. Because back when you had to pay that cable package.
Right. Well, I mean, motherfuckers have been stealing cable since forever, bro. You know how many dudes who were yo, I'll sell you this cable box with all the channels. But
not in suburbia.
Well.
You know what I mean?
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyways.
So what you're saying is that we're both products of our environment.
I just think we're old enough to see all of the landscape change. We've seen the trees come, the trees go, mountains have shifted, the boulders have rolled.
But and let's be real. Let's lay our cards on the table. If the option was pirate or pay for it, what are you choosing?
Typically pirate. I still pirate some things, not everything.
Okay.
Depends how easy it is. If they make it hard enough, because now I remember a time.
I guess Kodi isn't that easy.
Yeah, because I remember even 5 years ago, you didn't have to have a VPN to pirate stuff.
That's true.
Now you do.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Because they figured out ways to get you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they'll eventually figure it. Maybe not with Kodi, but with other ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They found
as long as you, I feel like as long as you keep, and you're right. Kodi's not. You know what?
Yeah.
No more tangents. Let's get to some more news.
So that was Adventure Time, returning for 4 huge mega episodes on HBO Max, hour-long each.
Wait, like so what you're saying is they're making new episodes? They're not just...
yeah, that was the whole point of what
I
was
saying. I thought you said they were just going to give you the old they're making...
No,
the creators are coming back and making new episodes.
Yes.
Oh, well,
and HBO
that
Max,
is news.
Yeah,
That's
HBO
awesome.
Max is coming out in 2020. I see what you were saying. You were on the tangent of why pay for Adventure Time.
I that's why I was like, wait,
these are
they're giving you
whole new
Adventure
episodes.
Time? You could just go on YouTube and get that.
Yes.
Okay, so you realize we just had like a 5-minute conversation for no fucking reason.
No, it was interesting.
Right? Was it? We're like meandering through the minutia of like copyright law, and I mean, I'm sure
a lot
like
of people don't even think about how this stuff happens. They hear YouTube stars and they're like, "How do these people make money?" We have no idea. They make money because ad revenue is coming to their
they make
videos.
money the way that television does, the same way.
Yeah, exactly the same way.
Guys, anything that a person is willing to put their eyes on, advertisers, enough people will put their eyes on. Advertisers like, hey, can we throw some of our shit in there that while people are watching the stuff that you're...
Yeah. And speaking of things I would like to put my eyes on, Edge of Tomorrow... That's pretty good. Come on. Edge of Tomorrow 2's script is finished, confirms the director, Doug Liman. Edge of Tomorrow, that's the Tom Cruise movie with Emily Blunt. Which is basically the video game premise of them going back and...
The back and forth time joint.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies, I think, of the last 10 years. I think...
Seriously?
Yeah. I think it's fantastic.
No shit.
I think it has plot issues about 3/4 of the way through that could have been better.
It was okay.
There was a slight missed potential.
I thought that Emily Blunt served really well in it.
Yeah.
She was really strong showing in that.
Yeah.
Really? One of your favorite movies in the last 10?
Yeah, it made $370 million at the box office.
What was its budget?
This was 2014. I think it was around 170 million, something like that.
And it made 3 million?
And it made
300?
370. So it made, I mean, not a huge, not a super huge success,
but but enough to make a second one.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
And so he says the script for the sequel is finished, but they're not necessarily sure when they're going to film it. It's going to happen sometime after Mission Impossible 7 and Mission Impossible 8.
They're making 2 more Mission Impossible?
Yeah, I think they're filming them at the same time so they can slowly... Yeah, I mean, they're going to make those forever.
Honestly, they can.
Yeah.
I grew up watching the Mission Impossible TV series.
Yeah.
And each one of those episodes are kind of like their own standalone thing. Like you could have taken like the Mission Impossible series from I think it was the 70s, 80s, and each one of those episodes could have been like extrapolated into a much larger, like you could take each one of those episodes and make a full length feature of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the beauty of the Mission Impossible series, because the premise is, here's a mission that is so impossible, we need a team that can do the impossible.
We need Tom Cruise.
Well, honestly, I'd like to see that franchise be handed off to somebody else.
I'd like to see...
Maybe me.
Maybe me. I'd like to see the franchise go on until they kill Tom Cruise.
Okay.
And they're like, oh.
Yeah.
And then he passes CGI the rest of him into the movie.
In his death, he passes the baton gingerly or haphazardly to me.
Rob, take this.
And I then become... what would my IMF name be?
I'm more interested in...
Randall...
Randall Tarlish.
Damn it, shut up. I had something here. Randall Fuzz.
I was going to say Randall Caspian.
Kasperillion. Ooh.
Kasperillion. Ooh.
Randall Kasperillion, the IMF agent.
You know what? I was thinking... I was back... This is another tangent, but really quickly. I was getting Carl Weathers.
Really
I thought I was getting Carl Weathers confused with Carl Weathers. I was getting Carl Weathers confused with Lando. This is 3 or 4 episodes ago. Because
what?
Whatever. Because Carl Weathers is coming out in the new Mandalorian show that's coming out on HBO, not HBO Max. It's coming out on Disney Plus. Man, I hate the world we live in right now.
Oh God, it's so awful.
It's so
awful. Why do you think I drink tequila before every podcast?
Yeah, but anyways, I would see Carl Weathers in the Mandalorian, and I was like, why am I feeling? And it was because I was thinking of Lando, who's in the new Star Wars trailer for Episode 9. Did you watch it?
An instinct.
I think it's a great point in this podcast to let you know that all black people feeling like.
Which is what you said 3 or 4 episodes ago.
We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
But I do.
Long have I waited. And now you're coming together. Is your undoing.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir. At my friends.
Confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny. The Force will be with you.
Always.
Well,
Awesome.
or you could say it's just basically how there's only one black person in the entire universe of Star Wars, and when you add a second one, suddenly you're like, "What the fuck is
You're
going
like,
on?"
Wait a minute. That actually, I think that's actually the
Does that
most
make
true
sense?
thing.
Okay.
Because why is it that Lando's the only black guy in all the universe?
Exactly.
Like you got aliens, you got
Okay.
a squid face, fish face motherfucker,
We
and then you only
Finn,
got one
too,
black guy.
but he's young. Lando's the only old black man.
And he's dark.
And he's
all right, them light skinned motherfuckers got a little more leeway.
Is Lando light?
I mean, he's medium.
He's medium, right?
He's medium. I mean, he's definitely lighter than I am.
Is Carl Weathers lighter than Lando?
I think maybe now. I think he's been using them skin creams.
He was good, too.
But like back when he was in Action Jackson, he was black as me. He was black as an ace. He was black as Blurple. The color Blurple.
Did you watch the Star Wars 9 trailer?
Yes, I did.
Did you like it? Are you excited?
Excited. I wouldn't say excited. I would say that I think it's going to be exactly what it should be to end a canon of films that should have been ended.
Canon.
And even hearing that said, doesn't even it sounds kind of blah based on what Marvel just did in the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like the motherfuckers made 21 films that all linked together and
got
had
better
different
as they went.
Right. And you motherfuckers took basically almost half a century to just do 9 semi-decent joints. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's a testament to the original product. It's a testament to Lucas's original idea. It's a testament to that drive of a motherfucker who's like, I'm going to get my vision done, which is what I would say for you. Get your vision done. Even if it's like, I'll do it with you.
Right.
If that's your fear of like whatever, I'll do it with you. You know what I'm saying?
Hear
like,
that, ladies and gentlemen, he will do it with me. Rob Robinson, Lauren Style. What we into? Okay, we can end the podcast now. That's all I needed. Been waiting for 42 episodes.
So this is just a long. This is your long game. This is your Ocean's 15.
Long game.
This is like I'm trying to remember like the names of like the con games that they were. This was your grift. You were just trying to get me to say that.
Yeah, done.
Damn, bro, I didn't know you loved me like that, dog. I mean, well, you shouldn't have got married and had all them kids. But I would.
I did that so that we could also have a secret life, which is. Everybody knows the secrets are special. I want to keep this love special.
See, but I don't know, because I'm always kind of an open book. I don't have too many secrets. I mean, you asked me the right question. I mean, I'm not going to volunteer the information, but if you ask me the right question, I'll just tell you the motherfucker. I'll be like, yo, this is what happened.
This is very true. So tell me, I'm going to ask you a question.
All right.
What are you most looking forward to in the new Star Wars? Because you know you're going to be there opening night with me.
I am. Honestly, I'm looking forward to the end of storytelling about the Skywalkers.
Okay.
That and I know that sounds counter to the title of what this movie is, Rise of Skywalker. But like I feel like it's one of those red herrings. I feel like it's one of those misdirections. The Rise of Skywalker actually means the end, the bookend of the Skywalker storytelling. Because for a long, the movies have sort of always been like what we kind of microed how over the 30, 40 years, almost half a century worth of Star Wars movies, that there has been in these spaces in between those 30 years a wealth of sinewed, very connective tissued properties like the graphic novel, tertiary, the graphic novels, the young adult fiction, the animation, like all the other, and some of them may or may not be canon. Even some of the video games, I feel like all of those things that we got based off of what was the initial source has mined and fueled and blossomed the world, grown the world of Star Wars in a way that you can hand it off to another generation of cats, because the generation of Star Wars creators and people who originated that they're moving their way into.
They're on their ranch spending their $4 billion
and saying dumb shit like Marvel movies aren't cinema.
Right. Who said that this time?
You didn't hear?
No, I know Scorsese said it before.
His homeboy. It was Scorsese.
Oh, Coppola.
Coppola, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, well.
Now
listen.
why?
Coppola
flames
shooting into my eyes.
Sides of my face. Flames, bro. I can't with these old motherfuckers, bro. I can't. I'm like
Coppola, do you want us to
dare
talk?
you?
Do you want us to talk about your wine?
How
and
dare and your sauce?
And your sauce.
Fuck you, bro. No, I mean, bro. I
get back to your vineyard.
Yeah, have some seats, dog. You and your man Martin, both of y'all need to just buy up seats and have all of them motherfuckers, because I can't, bro. I'm sorry.
Well,
How dare
you? Care? I'm on the
How
side
dare
of
them?
I'm on the
It's my
side of
point.
old white dudes complaining about Marvel movies.
How dare you?
I don't care.
I'm on the side of old white dudes complaining about it when they haven't benefited from the fact that, you know, they've made these movies that people love at a time when maybe people shouldn't have loved it.
When old white men stop complaining.
White men.
Yes, when old white men stop complaining, it's because they're dead. So that's when you should be concerned. Really, what Scorsese and Coppola are saying is, hey, look at me, I still matter, I'm relevant.
That's actually the most apt thing I've heard this
and
week.
That's what they're doing.
It makes me think about that.
And we
because
accept,
when I heard it infuriated me. I was so angry. I was
we
like,
accept
why?
all forms of people using the internet for self-gain.
You're right.
And that's just what these dudes are doing.
What? Larry, you're right.
I will not buy a wine from the store with Coppola's name on it, but I wasn't going to do that anyways.
I retract my kill yourself statement from previous versions.
And essentially what you're saying about Star Wars is you're ready for the mercy killing.
Yeah.
Lay it to rest.
I'm ready to put it down. And this being the longest Star Wars movie did you hear this?
Yeah, I did hear. Yeah.
It's going to be the longest movie in the history of the franchise.
Yeah.
I feel like you only can put this movie to bed, not the franchise, but this storyline to bed with a 2 and change ass Star Wars exit movie.
I'm going to run through some shots. There's Rey running through a forest kind of planet looking like Endor.
Yeah. She's
got the little thing that's chasing her that's from the first Star Wars that's shooting lasers at her, and she's training. She's hitting it with her lightsaber.
Yep.
She's in like I don't know, it looks like a Death Star later, and she's jumping to a ledge. There's Finn with the binoculars that we talked about earlier with the meme shot. He's seeing some stuff. There's some voiceover stuff. There's Lando surrounded by a ton of people, which makes me think, like, is he just sitting there in a chair and people are like, Uncle Lando, tell us stories.
Lando.
Tell us stories about what it was like to lead the rebellion. He's like, I'll tell you a story. Right?
Right. No. Keep going.
We got a couple shots of Rose, Tico, and the dude, what's his face? Mary from Lord of the Rings, right? Or Lost. Dominic Monaghan. Monaghan. He's in there. More Poe. He's in there. We got C-3PO. Which... Are they going to kill C-3PO in this?
They're definitely going to kill C-3PO in this.
How do you feel about C-3PO dying?
Great. Good. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Did anybody really love C-3PO?
I did. He was cool.
He was cool?
Yeah.
C-3PO was cool.
He was a gold-plated, effeminate robot that, had, like, master of mad languages. Yeah, he's cool as shit.
You think he's going to die? He is?
He's a robot. How does a robot die? You just put new fucking circuit boards. Like we thought R2-D2 was dead. Yeah. R2-D2 was just in hibernation.
That's true. He got shot into the very first movie.
He got ricocheted off of walls, and fucking Chewbacca put him back together in a cell. Well, yeah, C-3PO got like taken apart several times over the course of these movies. In fact,
what do you think about the Emperor returning for this movie?
I think it's great. I think it's great only if they can make it make sense based off of the last time we saw him.
Oh, so that's not good then, because they won't.
You don't think it will?
Not really. I mean, I don't know. Their options are like he was planning.
Sith Lords have the ability to live on after death. We know that because that's how he gets Anakin to come to his side when he's like, "I can help you cheat death."
Was he telling the truth though?
Yeah, based on what the Clone Wars shows us, where.
That's true.
Well, Yoda goes to the Sith homeworld and faces down the ghost of one of I think the first Sith Lord. So, yeah, Force. When you're talking about the Force, bro, and you're talking about like the level of like mastery of it, if the writing is good, it makes sense because it's basically space magic.
Right.
It's space magic, bro.
Space magic.
So if the space wizards tell a good enough space wizard story. It's like Gandalf the Grey turning into Gandalf the fucking White.
Dope.
You remember that?
Yeah.
He died.
His hair went from like coarse and rough.
He died. He's like, I passed through fire and water and
I fought a Balrog while falling
the lowest
down
depths of the smote him on the
Which
mountain.
I gotta say that the opening to that second movie,
it's fucking amazing.
Twin Towers, is so good.
It's fucking amazing. Fly, you fools! And then he's like, I'm gonna go get my sword.
He could have been, he could have been like, "Don't worry, I got this. You guys go.
He literally could have been like, "I'll catch up."
Yeah.
Fly. Well, I don't think he knew that he was going to survive the battle and then eventually evolve like a goddamn Pokemon to the next iteration of a wizard. So,
it's also that thing where like the Balrog falls and like he could have just walked off quickly. Like, okay, cool, Balrog's not falling. Instead, he slowly backs away, and then the whip grabs his foot.
Right. He could have been like, "Oh God, all right, guys, let's pick up the pace a little bit." But I mean, granted, he's old.
He's old, so I'll give him that he can't. I'll give him that he can't pull himself back up over the ledge once he's pulled down. But you tell me that like,
I mean, in Magic,
Aragorn couldn't like just jump. No, or how about Legolas? Like, he's a goddamn elf. He could have like run over there.
No, and based on like, I mean. You remember? Do you remember that scene in Game of Thrones? That scene where the dragons get shot down.
Yes.
And somebody like wrote
the
algorithms
best moment of Game of Thrones
and
last
like
season.
they were like, well, based on the trajectory of the ballistas, and like somebody wrote like a math algorithm.
I read all that stuff.
Like, I know you did because we talked about it. You were like, because you felt the way you were like, man, there's no way that ballista would have hit that dragon from them cliffs. Like you went down the rabbit hole.
I did.
And in the same way, I would argue that that's the exact same thing. Like based on where he was in relationship to where they were, based on the overwhelming odds of the goblins. Mm-hmm. There was no way. He's an old dude. He just expended all this magic to protect them. Bridge weakened, and then he can't I can't do a pull up. But you know what? I can fall freely and get my sword and fight him.
And fall hundreds of feet and fight a Balrog.
He falls through hundreds, thousands, bro. What are you talking about? I thought they fell through the middle. I thought they fell through the earth and ended up in China. That's how he ended up being changed. He's like, I know Mandarin.
You know what it was? It was a hold my beer moment.
It is that. That's exactly what it was.
I gotta deal with this. Hold my beer.
Hold
Here
my
I
beer.
go.
Hold my beer. Woo! I'll meet you guys later. Woo! You eat yet? No. Y'all chew? Maybe later. Woo! Yo, we gotta pick up the phase.
I got 2 more Star Wars questions.
All right. Go ahead.
Is Rey and Kylo Ren?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I said that like that. Is Rey and Kylo Ren, are they going to make out and come together as like a couple situation? Rob predicts.
I say no.
Okay.
I think that's too easy. I think that's that's what we kind of want, because initially I thought it was going to be Rey and John Boyega.
Yeah.
But I think Disney's like, whoa. We're based in America.
This is a white girl.
You want to start? You want to start the second revolution? You want to start the civil? I think Bob Iger was like, "You want to start the Civil War again?" Yeah, we're not having it. That's why
Finn.
That's why they quickly gave Finn that Asian love interest. They're like, she's not white, but she's not brown.
It's hard to even call her a love interest. It's more like she has an interest in him, and he's just like, yeah, all right.
And you don't think that that's the route they're going to take? They're going to be like, whew, all right. Well, we deflected that Ray Finn love thing there. Whew, all right, great.
Look, we're diverse. We're about inclusivity.
So let's see about maybe Kyle. No, that seems. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. I don't think I don't think you'll see Rey and Kylo Ren having their like, I saw you without your shirt in a Force vision. Now see me without my pants in 3D.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, why are you always Force visioning me while not wearing any clothes? He's like, I just don't wear clothes.
He's like, girl, that's just how I get down. I live free.
I'm always working out.
Or die trying.
Last question.
All right.
And it's either one or two things. I forgot the second part, so let me think about it for a second. Is Palpatine, was Snoke just kind of like an avatar for Palpatine this whole time? Which would explain why we don't learn anything about him. Like maybe it's just somebody that was like a cloned body or something that Palpatine was sort of just like manipulating from the outer regions of space.
Honestly, that would be a very great. I would like.
It would answer that whole Snoke thing,
right?
Right.
It could sew up that Snoke thing, and it's probably the most intellectual and intelligent version that makes Snoke make sense.
Yes.
in this world,
right?
And that makes me think that you should be in a writer's room somewhere writing for things, bro.
I should.
God damn!
I have to totally.
Yo, somebody who's listening, hire this motherfucker. He's a brilliant writer.
Last question, real quick.
Go ahead.
Is Kylo Ren playing the long game? Has he not actually gone to the dark side? Has he secretly been holding on to the light?
Yes.
In order to manipulate whatever this thing is that he recognizes has been manipulating him the whole time.
And yes, all the yeses, and I would even go so far as to say, like, they might even do one of these like. Oh, what a twist things where it was all sort of orchestrated to have him be there in this way. Maybe no, that's my far-fetched. That's my far-fetched dark horse theory that it was like the killing of Han Solo. All that was orchestrated.
Because if you listen to him during that moment, he's like, I'm conflicted, and I know what I need to do, but I don't want to do it.
Right.
And if you think of that as him, like, I know I need to kill you, basically, to show that I've
made it to this point, right?
But I don't want to do that, and it scares me. And that moment means so much more.
For me, it feels like it feels like we don't know all the information. Like in the first three the original Star Wars movies, they were chronological and they told this story in this way. So we knew the main character's history. We knew his backstory. We knew how we get from point A to point B. In this version of it, I feel like we don't have all the information all the way up. Like, we're about to go into our third movie, and we still don't have so much critical information.
Right. Who's Rey? Where's she come from?
Which makes me feel like all of this was sort of, all of the initial, like, the information that we don't know is essential to how this story sort of ends.
Right.
Like, people are going to flip. There was some double agency going on. Maybe this was a long con over the course of this many whatevers because the war went so bad and the Jedi's got whatever. Like, I feel like the way this canon of films is going to end on some sort of like really, really overt twist.
Right.
That's just me. That's my dark horse theory coming from Rob Predicts.
That's a version of something that I want to actually see. I'm very skeptical about this movie because I don't know how much of it
Not
that they planned out.
cautiously optimistic the way I was about Joker.
Right.
Not cautiously. That's my question.
You're not.
Are you, no,
Am
my
I?
question is not because when you were asking me about Joker, I was telling you the whole time I was like, I'm cautiously optimistic based on the markers that they had around, and Joker ended up being just meh for me. Is this the same way for you? Are you cautiously optimistic about them?
I definitely won't fall asleep to it. I know that much. You know what I mean? This is not gonna put me to sleep.
Right.
There may be moments in it that happen where I'm like, okay, all right, well, I guess this is just what this is gonna be. So let's put it out of its misery, and I'll just enjoy it.
Okay. Second question.
Yes.
How many pee breaks do you think you're going to take in a 2.5 hour Star Wars?
I'm bringing like a Ziploc bag.
You're just going to tape a bag to the inside of your thigh.
You will insert a catheter.
Cat diaper?
Cat diaper. Perfect. I'll get a mini cat diaper just to hold my balls and cock.
Just a tiny little like pad absorbent just for your balls and dick. Okay.
What's funny is they don't even make cat diapers. That's a newborn diaper. Now I think about it.
They don't make cat diapers, dog. And what kind of self-respecting cat? You know what? No, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. But
inside joke, ladies and gentlemen.
Cat.
All right, off of Star Wars, on to Galaxy Quest documentary.
Whoa! Before we go running off to Galaxy Quest, I wanted you to know that your man Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney,
yes,
he actually defended the attacks from Scorsese and Coppola.
He did.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm an old white man.
Well, he's like, wait. He was like, hold my beer, hold my beer. Let me talk to these right men. So
me speaking a language they will understand.
The byline for this headline is, if they want to bitch about movies, that's certainly their right. And that's all I want to say, because that's basically what you were saying.
Yes.
So Bob Iger was like, look.
No, what I was saying is, hey, over here, look at me, guys.
Hey, guys.
Still relevant.
You remember I made Taxi Driver? and then Coppola was like,
Godfather 2? Anybody?
Wine?
Wine?
Buy my wine!
It's on sale.
Nobody buys my wine.
It's always on sale. Every time I go into the liquor store.
It's always on sale. Your wine is garbage, cop.
You can go into the worst liquor store and find Coppola wine.
Oh, my God. Dude, I feel like I walked into a 7-Eleven in, like, Florida and found Coppola.
Exactly.
Anyway, but yeah, you were saying?
I was saying that Never Surrender, a Galaxy Quest documentary from Fandom and Screen Junkies celebrates the making and legacy of the beloved 1999 classic.
You mean the one with Sigourney Weaver, Tim Allen, Alan Rickman?
Yeah, probably.
And Tony Shalhoub fame?
Oddly, probably the best Star Trek movie of all time.
Hell yeah, easily.
Yeah.
I think what I will say is,
by the way, good for you for pulling up all those names in a row.
Goddamn right,
just like that.
Because I fucking love that movie. That movie was brilliant. Not only was it brilliant, but I think it's sort of the opus for what your boy Seth MacFarlane is trying to do with. Oh my god, what's that show? The Orville.
Oh, Orville. Yeah.
And also, another thing I just...
because I need to be watching is the Orville.
You need to be watching that shit. Not only because that I just finished... And this was what I was in. I finished my rewatching of Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
You know what I realized?
What?
One of the cast members from the Orville, she was the love interest of fucking Captain Sisko.
Nice.
I was like, man, I know her. Like, she is of this world. Like... She's been directed by Frakes. She's been directed by LeVar.
Yeah.
She was on a lot of the episodes of Deep Space Nine playing Avery Brooks' love interest. She was what was the character's name? Cassidy H. She was a freighter captain that ended up marrying Ben.
Oh, yeah.
She marries
Benjamin
him.
Sisko?
Yeah, she
Commander
marries
Benjamin
Ben.
Sisko, yes.
She marries him, and now she's on the Orville as playing the Doctor.
I love that you have Sisko on a first-name basis. Ben, Ben.
You know,
Benji, come on. Benny.
Well, I don't know if you know this about me.
Benny on the block.
Little known fact about Rob Robinson. Avery Brooks was one of my icons for acting icons. Like, he was one of the people who made me want to be an actor. His voice, he was on that. I think I've talked about on this podcast before. He was on that.
Yeah. That's why I take personal offense when I'm watching Deep Space Nine, and Laurel's like, "Yeah, he's not very good." I'm like,
"Wait, what?" Laurel thinks that Avery Brooks is not very good on that show.
Yes. Yeah. So next time you see her, now you have something to talk about. What I would like to talk about, just for another moment, is this Galaxy Quest documentary. Right.
I'm listening. I'm still trying to process Laurel talking shit about one of the best captains in all of the Star Trek franchises. Like, I feel
you might
like
actually like those pages I wrote.
I feel like the next time we see each other, I'm gonna feel a ways. I'm gonna be like, Laurel, can I see you in the kitchenette
over here, please?
Please,
just for a moment, please.
What the fuck, Laurel? I feel like that's gonna be literal. She'll be like, Rob, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. What the fuck, Laurel?
Do you think Galaxy Quest is in the same universe as Star Trek?
Yes.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah,
is the Orville in the same
you said,
universe?
Why not? Yes, I think
Yeah.
Galaxy Quest, the Orville, and Star Trek all have basis in the same reality.
Yeah, they're all there. They're all part of one.
They're all military based star ship, like basically like Space Navy. Mm-hmm. It's a Space Navy show with hierarchies and a military structure. And multiple aliens and storylines that sort of intersect based on the crew of a ship, in one ship in a myriad of ships in a fleet.
Yeah,
what Star Trek did is that we understand that there is a larger fleet, a hierarchy in place, but we only get to see that hierarchy through the microcosm of this one ship and crew's lives over the course of whatever. Mm-hmm. And that is ostensibly what all those properties that you just named do well.
We were supposed to get a Galaxy Quest TV show from Amazon. And we were also... I
had beer in my mouth. That was... Really?
Yeah. We almost got a Galaxy Quest 2, but it didn't happen.
I would have loved the Galaxy Quest 2. I don't know. I don't think they... honestly, I'm glad they didn't make it, because I don't think it would have... It would have felt a little disingenuous, because I don't think they intended Galaxy Quest 1 to be as much of a hit as it was.
$90 million.
Wait, is how much they made, or how much they made it for?
That's how much it made. Yeah, no.
That's all it made?
That's all it made.
It only made $90 million?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That movie is so good, though.
Yeah, I don't know what the budget was, but it made money. It was only probably had like a $20 million budget.
It had a $20 million budget with all those actors in it?
Yeah.
All those actors must have they were just like, we'll work for next to nothing.
I mean,
you don't have to look it up right now. It blows my mind that it only made $90 million, which you said it made money, which means that the budget for it had to have not been that much.
$45 million budget.
So
it basically broke even.
It broke even.
Yeah.
So that's not, because based on like the special effects, the makeup, all the things that went into making it, it was a really well done send up of what was a classical trope.
All right, we'll do it. We'll do an episode on Galaxy Quest.
Thank you. That's all I wanted. Now we can stop talking about it.
What else you got?
I got a couple more things, just one or two more things, and then we can move from that. FYI, it's 1:30.
Yes.
So this one I wanted to talk about because apparently the Stadia is coming out next month.
Yes. And you're getting it.
No. Apparently not according to this article. Google Stadia players who pre-ordered might not be able to play when it launches.
Oh, fun. Perfect.
So,
but if you just go into the store and get it, can they play?
I don't.
So it's just literally screwing you over for being prepared?
I don't think so, because based on this article, it says Google says that the units will be none of that. None of that's important. if premiere editions would also arrive in time for the November, because it's supposed to come out on the 19th of November. 19th of November. The answer is no, since the premiere editions won't ship they're not shipping them.
Oh,
so you could actually probably go into a store and get it before you So yeah, they actually are.
You are getting screwed for pre-ordering it.
Yeah,
unless you go into the store and also buy it and then return your pre-order, but then that's just a lot of extra work you have to do.
But according to this article, the premium edition is mostly similar to the Founders Edition, which I guess is the base model, and it costs the same thing. They're both $130.
Oops. So what was the point? That's not off to a good start.
Yeah. Why? Well, I mean.
But neither one of us
$130.
We are Xbox for life.
Yeah, Wade.
Xbox for life. We're not touching.
Yeah.
Wink. I can literally hear your wink through the mic.
I'm trying to bat my eyelashes hard and fast enough to just
the skin of
make
your
a sound.
eyelids is hitting so hard you can pick it up on the mic. Here you go. Listen. Wink. Wink. Robert Pattinson's.
Oh wait! Before you, that's actually just the first part of the news coming from the Stadia.
Oh, got
the second piece of surprising news was recently Google revealed that at the launch, the Stadia controller will only work wirelessly with the Chromecast Ultra, which I guess the Chromecast comes with the Founders and Premier editions,
right?
But it also means you can't just swap your phone. Basically, all that stuff they promise you, being able to use other controllers to. Yeah,
I may be playing my new Xbox that Wade sends us.
Wade. Turn on the reactor. Wade. I think that guy's name was Quaid.
It's Quaid, but it works.
Yeah, it works. It totally works.
Total Recall call out, in case you didn't know.
Well,
what?
That's one of those Easter eggs.
What? Oh,
that's one of those for our fan base.
I was just telling people in case they were like, "What the hell are these guys talking about?"
We're 42 weeks in. Like,
we're
if you're jumping in
we're
right
an hour
now,
and 9 minutes into our podcast.
If you've made it this far into the podcast and you're catching that, then welcome.
Welcome to you found your people.
My kind.
We found each other, everyone.
Oh, there you are, Peter.
I love that movie so much.
How have we not rewatched that show already?
I don't know, man. This has been What We Into. I was going to give you some notes about Robert Pattinson's Batman and how he's going to fight Paul Dano's Riddler.
You know what? I'm getting less
excited about
by the shit that comes out. Did you hear him talk about how he thinks Batman is not a hero?
Who? Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
Whatever.
You didn't hear that?
No.
Ugh.
I'm like, whatever.
I'm less inclined to be excited about this based on some of the shit I've heard him say about the actual character.
It's like getting excited for something that's also going to happen again 5 years from now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then again another 5 years from now.
Right. And fucking Robert Pattinson. He may be good. It may be good. I mean, Kilmer was still one of my favorites, but nobody hears me.
What?
Huh?
Huh? Who? Clooney for life. Talking
kill
bat nipples, yo.
Fucking kill yourself, Clooney.
Bat nipples.
Clooney. Oh my god. All right, yeah. I'm your boy Rob Karma Robinson,
and I'm Lawrence Dial. This is What We Into. Send us an email. We're gonna do comments on the next episode. We're gonna be talking about Watchmen, the TV show on HBO, and the movie. We got comments after that at the end of the episode, but send those comments to whatweinto@gmail.com. You can find our Facebook page at What We Into, Twitter, Dial_Lawrence. Throw us a buck, patreon.com/whatweinto. I also want to give a shout out to Lindsay Joy, who's one of our fellow Patreon people.
Shout out to Lindsay Joy. Congratulations, baby girl.
Super pregs.
Congratulations.
Preggers.
Shout out to that boy, Jimmy Favy. Yeah. Jay Feezy.
So happy for them. That's like,
yo,
I had like a little...
I could not be more, like, there's very few people that I'm like, procreate.
Yeah.
And these two motherfuckers, I'm like, procreate.
I almost want to kill them and like steal their baby and raise it as my own.
What kind of white man shit is that?
Just saying. That's how good that baby's
gonna be.
That is
some classic American incel white man shit.
I'm just saying. That's how good their baby's gonna be. The baby's gonna be amazing.
No,
like, I have amazing babies.
I love the two of them. Yes, you do.
And this is on that level.
Yeah, honestly, I'm over the moon with those two. I'm over the moon.
You know what we have to do? You and I have to have a baby.
You know what? You know, the technology is going to be available soon. We should put our DNAs together, get an embryo to shout that out.
Yeah.
Because he'll be tall, caramel, maybe like green-eyed,
ridiculously handsome or beautiful.
I'm thinking like hung like maybe rhino stock.
Oh, like baby's arm.
Baby arm, like
arm just dangling there.
Like I mean, from that elbow to that wrist right there.
Boom.
I mean that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Then you'd have another normal size arm.
Yeah, and maybe
a
vestigial
penis.
tail. Maybe a vestigial tail.
Vestigial tail, yes.
Yeah, because
we did.
Wait. Have I done this with you?
No.
I'm sorry. I hate to just break off on the tangent right quick before we end this segment, but I don't know if I've asked you this question. If you had the option, if you woke up tomorrow,
this is for all the listeners as well.
All the listeners, yeah, this is going out, and please feel free to respond.
Dedicated listeners who made it to the end of this podcast.
Please feel free to respond. If you woke up tomorrow and you had the ability to get two choices, one was a monkey's tail or angel wings, like Angel from the X-Men, like full on functional wings, where you had to live every day with some giant wings out of your back,
monkey tail,
or a monkey's tail, and that's why you're my motherfucker.
Yeah, monkey tail.
That's why you're my mother.
Wings would be great for a while.
You know how many people I've asked that question to over the course of coming to that question, and so. I feel like 95% of people who I ask that question to, they always say wings.
Yeah,
I'm a monkey tail man.
You can.
Vestigial. Yeah, monkey tail.
Monkey tail. Boom.
Give it to me up top, bro.
Monkey tails all the time.
Monkey tail day. This is what we into. I'm your boy Rob Cum Robinson, as we said,
and I'm Lawrence Style, cat wearing a diaper.
we love you. See you again
Later, haters.
We're not.